Okay, so today what we're going to be talking about is subject to investing. Okay, so pretty much, give me a second here. What subject to investing is, okay, let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so what is subject to investing? So subject to investing, so pretty much what it is just purchasing a property subject to the existing mortgage. Okay, so you take the title to a property, the property becomes yours, but the mortgage that the seller had previously gotten stays in place. Okay, so there's different ways you can do it. You can pay the mortgage directly, so make the mortgage payments to the mortgage company directly. Or if you have some kind of setup with the title company, you can have the title pay to the mortgage company. But in essence, that's pretty much what it is. You take title to the property, and the mortgage that was there before you bought the property just stays in place. Okay? And helping distressed homeowners from losing their property. So actually, here, let's do this. I'm going to unmute you guys, and if you guys have questions, go ahead and ask them right away. But what I want you to do is pretty much keep yourself muted unless you have a question you want to ask, okay? So yeah, so if you guys have questions, go ahead, unmute yourself and ask right away. But if you guys don't, please keep your mics muted, okay? But back to this. So what is subject to? So helping distressed homeowners from losing their property. That's really what it's about. It's not about, taking advantage of them or anything like that. It's about helping them because they're going to lose their property. All right. Okay, and it's creating a win-win situation for all parties involved. So again, it's not about taking advantage of them. It's about, helping them achieve whatever it is they want to achieve, or help them solve their problem while you benefit as well. So you want to try to create that win-win situation, because if you go in trying to, with bad intentions or trying to take advantage of them, it's going to become clear to them, and also it could be illegal as well. If you don't tell them the truth or something like that, it could be equity stripping. So you want to make sure that, again, you create a win-win situation for everybody, okay? And then subject to, it's a form of creative financing. It's used to purchase properties with low to no money down, and you will have a high potential of, getting a lot of equity or cash flow returns, okay? And then you can use this with flips or rentals or, whatever type. This is just the financing piece, okay? So either whatever way you want to use it with, whether it be flips or rentals, this is another option of financing that you can use beyond cash or hard money or, a regular loan, okay? So you might want to look at this as another option, all right? Okay, so why is subject to investing going to be important in the future? COVID-19, obviously. What's going on right now? A lot of people are getting sick because of this. So, let's take a look at why, we want to learn about subject to investing, all right? So there's going to be an economic domino effect. So whatever is coming, whether it be a recession or a depression or, just a quick turnaround in the economy, we don't know, but it's not going to happen right all at once. It's going to happen fast, but it's not going to happen all at once. It's going to be a domino effect. Some things are going to start to go down, and then other things, and then other things, and then other things, okay? So let's take a look at some of those. So mass layoffs, okay? So mass layoffs, large portions of workers are already getting laid off all at once. The food and the restaurant sector, they lost a lot of jobs, and they laid a lot of people off at once. Now there's a lot of stay-at-home orders, a lot of non-essential people are getting laid off. So, that's happening right now, okay? Actually, that happened already. So that already happened. So what's the next domino that's going down? Mass unemployment, okay? We're seeing it. Just like one of my posts yesterday or a few days ago, 6.6 million people have filed for unemployment. But that number is probably a lot higher than 6.6 million because, you know, there are people that are unemployed or underemployed that didn't even file. So the 6.6 million people is just the people that filed, that went and actually filed for unemployment. There's still people that are unemployed and didn't even file, you know, so it's probably more than 6.6 million. So those are all the people that don't have enough income, okay? So mass confusion, all right? There's a lot of new laws and bills that are being pushed through super fast without a lot of people even understanding or knowing them. Because you got to look at it. The federal government passed, you know, a $2 trillion bill. It has about 1,400 pages of law in there, you know, and most people in the government don't even know what's in there. Okay, most senators, most you know, most of the people that wrote it, they don't even know what's in there. Okay, that's why there's a delay in payments coming out to people, payments going out to small businesses, and all those things. And on top of that, you know, it's not just the federal government doing this. The states are doing this as well. They have their own laws. They have their own executive orders that are coming out that affects people, unemployment, health, everything like that, real estate. And then on top of that, there's cities. Cities are making their own laws. Okay, so some cities they're banning evictions. They're coming out with their own programs to help people. So there's all these different things. And you know, some people or some governments are telling people, hey, don't pay, you know, don't evict people, and you know, other places are, you know, evictions are still okay. So there's a lot of confusion going on. Okay, so you know, that's going to cause problems in the future as well. Okay. Now, long-term unemployment. All right, so not just the 6.6 million that filed for unemployment, you know, in the last week. There's going to be a long-term change, okay, to the way we live our lives. So even when the stay-at-home orders are lifted or things go back to normal, they won't go back to normal right away, you know, and they'll probably, oops, sorry, what happened there? Okay. They'll probably never go back to normal the way that it was before. Like, you know, even in February, things won't even go back to the way they were in February. You know, and to become a you know, normal society again, where you know, everything is running smoothly, the economy is great again, it's going to take a very long time. So we're going to have a long period of unemployment. Okay. So what is that going to do? You know, all of this is going to cause mass evictions and foreclosures. So I have foreclosures in bold right there. Okay, because that's really where the subject to investing is going to come in, okay? Because let's think about it. So the 6.6 million unemployed people, so let's just use that number. If even a fraction of that, so let's say like a quarter, so 1/4, a quarter of those people lose their homes, you know, that's 1.6 million homes that will go into foreclosure, okay? And if we break it down even more, if we break it down by state, that 1.6 million homes, that's about like 35,000 homes, if I believe correctly. 35,000, somebody check my math on that, but I believe it's like 35,000 homes that will go into foreclosure per state. So we have like 50 states. So just think about it, you know, whatever state you're in, if you have 35,000, 30,000 homes that go into foreclosure, that's a big chunk of any real estate market, you know, wherever you live. That's a big chunk, okay? So mass evictions because of confusion, because, you know, people don't have money, you know, generally, ultimately, they're going to lead to foreclosures as well. And again, these stimulus bills and all that stuff, you know, if this virus goes on for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, personally, I don't think the government can be able to support the entire nation for that long, you know, just because the way that our economy is set up, it's set up on a very thin line. So is subject to investing going to be important in the future? I think yes, because of all these mass foreclosures, okay? So that's what we need to do, is we need to start educating ourselves on the different types of creative financing. And subject to is a great, it's a great tool to have in your toolbox when you come across properties that it's relevant to. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide here. So how do I know if a property is good for subject to? Okay, I mean, you know, the real answer is you don't. It's not like, you know, flipping where you're looking for distressed homes, or rentals where you're looking for homes that are great, you know, that are great for cash flow. You know, when you walk up to a house, you don't even know if it's going to be good for subject to. Okay, the only time you'll know is when you start talking to the sellers to find out what their problem is. Okay, and not every home is going to be great for subject to. All right, so subject to, like I said, it's really, you have to learn to identify a property that is good for subject to financing. Okay, some properties might be better for cash, some properties might be better for hard money, some properties might be better for conventional loans, but some properties are great for subject to. Okay, and we're going to look at some in a little bit here. Okay, so why would a seller be willing to sell subject to? Okay, the main thing is time. They run out of time. They don't have enough of it, you know. They need to sell it fast, okay? So it could be that the bank is foreclosing on them and their redemption period is coming up soon, so they need to sell it fast, you know. Or, you know, they lost their job, or, you know, they just ran out of time. They need to get rid of it ASAP, okay? The other thing too is, you know, they have to have multiple levels of motivation, and this is the key right here to having the sellers be willing to do a subject to. Okay, so motivation could be things like, you know, they're unable to take care of the property, they're moving out of town, they got a job somewhere else, you know, across country or something like that. You know, they lost a job, and again, going through foreclosure. Okay, getting divorced. So again, you know, like I tell people, you have to have multiple levels of motivation. If you just have one level of motivation, it's probably not a good subject to deal. Okay, because they're not going to be really that motivated to do it. Okay, so multiple levels of motivation, at least two. All right. Okay, and the other one is they're going to lose the house anyways. So they have to be in a situation where no matter what they do, they're going to lose the house. Okay? So these are the things that is going to push them to want to be able to sell to you subject to. Okay? But you, as the investor, you just need to make sure that you identify, you know, do they need to sell it fast? Do they have multiple levels of motivation? And are they going to lose the house no matter what they do? That's what you need to determine. Okay? So what's in it for the seller? I mean, if they're going to lose their house anyways, you know, why not just let it go back to the bank? You know, why give it to you? Okay? It's an easy out for them. All right? They can leave right away. So meaning that, you know, if you see them today, you guys get all the paperwork signed, they can leave today. They don't have to wait a month to 2 months to close, you know. So it's very, very quick, very, very fast for them. All right? They don't have to clean or take care of anything. So when I buy a property subject to, I always tell them, hey, you know, you don't have to clean or take care of anything. All right, I'm going to make this process as smooth, as simple, and as easy for you. You just sign the papers, give me the keys, and you're free. That's it. You can walk away. You know, so I make it very, very simple for them. Okay, because, you know, sometimes they have a lot of junk in their home. You know, they don't want to clean out. You know. So, you know, make it very, very easy for them. And, you know, again, like I said, they're free. They can go anywhere. They can do anything. You know, they don't have to worry about it anymore. So it makes it very easy on them to you know, go out and do whatever they want. All right. Their credit goes up. Okay. So again, the mortgage is staying in place. So what I tell them is, hey, you know, if I keep paying for your mortgage, your credit is going to go up. So instead of you giving it back to the bank and having your credit go down the drain through foreclosure and all those things, you know, your credit is going to go way up because I'm going to pay on time for you, and make sure that it keeps building your credit. okay? So why not? And then the other one is no out-of-pocket costs for them, okay? So again, like I said, I make it super easy on them. I always tell them, hey, there's no closing costs. I'll take care of all the closing costs. You know, there's no cleanup costs, no nothing to them. All they have to do is sign the paperwork, and that's it. That's it. They're done. You know, they just hand over the keys, no cost to them. They can leave right away. Their credit goes up. They can go anywhere. They can do anything. You know, so it's an easy way for them to get out of the property. Okay. Again, if you guys have any questions on these, go ahead and unmute yourself and just ask them right away. Okay. Okay, so what's in it for the buyer? So what's in it for us, the real estate investors, okay? It's an easy in. So it's an easy way to get into the property, all right? We can take possession immediately. So again, like I said, they hand over the keys, sign all the documents. You know, you can take the possession of the property that day if you both agree to it. But yeah, it's fast, okay? You can do it very fast. You can see the house today, get everything done today, get the keys and move in today if you want to, okay? Low to no money down if there's enough equity and the property is current, okay? So this is the key to low to no money down, is there should be enough equity in the property. So meaning that, you know, they should owe a little bit less than what the property is worth. Obviously, you know, if they owe a lot less than what the property is worth, the better it is. And the property is current, meaning that, you know, they haven't had any late payments, they're not in default or anything like that. That's how you can get low to no money down deals with this. Now, if they are in default, you know, or they have missed payments, it's not the end of the world. You know, you might just have to calculate that into your numbers and catch them up, so that way the bank doesn't foreclose and take the property from you when you get it. Okay. But still, again, like I said, that could be a low money option. All right, it might not be a no money down option, but you know, either ways, you know, it really depends on the numbers of the deal. Okay, and we'll go through it in a little bit here. And it does not use the buyer's credit, so it doesn't use your credit. You don't have to go to a bank to get a loan, you know, to do subject to. The mortgage from the seller stays in place. So if you know, if something happened, if you didn't pay the mortgage that month, it doesn't affect your credit. Okay, it affects the seller's credit. You know, but again, you know, that's not what we're here to do. We're not here to ruin the seller's credit. We're here to make the seller's credit better. Okay, and also it helps you out when you're trying to go get other loans to buy other properties. This doesn't count against your DTI because, again, like I said, it's not using your credit. So when they pull credit, when they pull your credit, this doesn't show up because it's not in your, the mortgage is not in your name, okay? And then there's no credit risk if foreclosed. So if the bank comes and actually forecloses on the property, there's really no risk to you besides you losing the property. It doesn't go on your credit record or anything like that because, again, like I said, the mortgage is still in the seller's name, okay? So these are the things that are you know, what's in it for you as the real estate investor, okay? So it's an easy way to get in. You can take possessions right away, you know, load no money down, no credit risk on your end, okay? So what is the risk? There's got to be some risk, right? So the lender could call the loan due. So we all heard due on sale, right? You know, that's an option. You know, and when you're purchasing subject to, you want to look at if the seller has their mortgage documents, you want to take a look at their mortgage documents and see if there's a due on sale clause in there. Most likely there is, but most of the times, you know, it's going to just say in there that the lenders have an option. So the keyword is option to call the loan due. It doesn't say that whenever there's a transfer of title or transfer of interest that the lender must or will call the loan due. It's just they have the option to, okay? And then we got to look at it from the lender's perspective. All right, if you're a lender and you made a loan and they're paying on time, no problems whatsoever, and they do a subject to, do you want to foreclose on them just because they did a subject to? You know, Now you turned a performing asset, so a paying customer, you turn them into a non-paying customer, plus you have all these attorney fees and legal fees and all those things. Or you could just let them keep paying, until they pay you off. So most lenders will look at it like that, okay? There always is a little bit of risk. So again, look at the mortgage documents, okay? And it's just an option that the lenders could use, all right? There could be multiple lenders. So what you want to do is you want to check with the title company, run a O&E report to check for other liens and other clouds on title, okay? Because, you don't just want to go sign the paperwork that day and then get it, and then now you figure out that, hey, there wasn't just a mortgage on there. There was a mechanic's lien, and there was a home equity line of credit, and there was a down payment assistance loan. You don't want those to pop up on you, okay? So again, this might make it so it takes a little bit longer, but if you have a good relationship with a title company, you can do this really, really quickly, okay? And the other risk is you are the legal owner now, okay? So anything that happens to the property is yours to deal with. Somebody comes, slips and falls on the property, they're going to sue you because you're the owner on title. Okay? They're not going to sue the bank. They're not going to sue the seller because the seller's not on title anymore. They're going to sue you, okay? If you don't cut the grass, the city, they're going to fine you. Taxes, it's all on you, okay? So those are, some of the risk that you take when you buy a property subject to, all right? So let's take a look at, one of the ones that I did. So I don't know if I've shown some people, my property here. I don't know if a lot of people have seen it, but this is a property in St. Paul that I picked up using subject to. It was a pretty good deal, The story was I was actually at one of my other properties, working on one of my other properties, and my father-in-law, he knew somebody that knew somebody else that was having an issue, and they knew that I buy houses because I tell everybody that I buy houses, So I went over there that day, talked to them, and pretty much got everything signed up that day. It was that quick. But the thing is, when I went there, I talked to them, and I figured out that, hey, they needed help, and subject to was the only way to do it. Okay, so this property, it's a 4-bedroom property. It's possibly a 5-bedroom because there's actually 5 rooms in there, but they just count it as a 4-bedroom. It's a 1.5-story, 2-bathroom, 2-car. It's on a dead-end street. And there's no neighbors across the other side because it's like a factory, and then it's close to the freeway. So perfect, single-family home, perfect, okay? So what were their motivations? The reason why they wanted to sell to me, okay? They were an elderly couple. It was just the husband and wife, and they were, I would say maybe late 60-ish. Yeah, I'd say maybe late 60s, elderly couple, just them, no kids or anything like that. The husband just had a stroke, so he couldn't take care of the property anymore. So, they weren't going to be able to live there long, because he can't take care of the property. He had a stroke, okay? They wanted to move out of the property ASAP and go live with their kids. Because again, like I said, they couldn't take care of the property, so they wanted to move out of there as soon as they could, all right? And then they were receiving government assistance too. I forgot, it's been a while. I forgot what type of government assistance they were receiving, but they were receiving government assistance, so they couldn't sell the house regularly. If they sold the house and they got a big old check, from the proceeds of selling their house, they would have to report that income, and then they would have lost their assistance. So that really removes them from being able to sell it, like any other normal seller would do. Okay. And they were still current on their loan, but they got bad advice from real estate agents, okay? So they told me that they talked to an agent, and then the agent's advice to them was, they're current, but the agent's advice to them was, hey, stop paying your loan, okay? Let it go into default, and then give it back to the bank. That was a licensed real estate agent's advice to them, That was horrible advice because they were going to lose their house and they were going to mess up their credit, okay? So, when I got there, I talked to them, I was like, that's the worst advice ever, I proposed to them, why don't I help take care of all of your problems? Let me help you move out right away. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to take care of anything because again, the husband has a stroke. You don't have to move anything. Take all the things that you want. But leave anything you don't want. Okay, I'll take care of it. I'll clean everything. Okay. They can move in with their kids right away. And I gave them a little bit of money. But not enough for them to, have to report it to the government, and I pay them cash, So it's up to them if they want to report it or not. Okay, it's not on me. Okay, and I help them from losing their home, back to the bank and ruining their credit. So those were their motivations, So again, they had to sell it quick, again because they couldn't take care of the property. They couldn't sell it through the normal means. And I'm helping them, with their problem. I'm solving a problem for them. Okay. So does everybody kind of understand that when you run into a situation like this would be great for a subject to, the reason why I bring this up is because this is really a perfect subject to deal. Okay. When I went and talked to them and I heard their story, heard what's going on, automatically in my head, everything came together. Okay. But let's look at the numbers, all right? Okay, so the numbers. Okay, so these numbers are from when I bought the property, I believe, like a few years ago. So it's not today's numbers, but still they're pretty good. Okay, so when I bought it, the ARV was about 185. Okay, for that part of St. Paul, and that type of property. The loan balance that they still had on it was 101. Okay, so that's how much they still owed on their current mortgage, all right? Now, purchase price, what the purchase price is the money that I gave them, to buy the property. Now, I didn't have to give them anything, but I felt kind of bad. So, and they were elderly, so I was like, okay, I'll give them a little bit of money to help them out. So I gave them $3,000, okay, so $3,000, all right? But I was like, I didn't want to give them, I didn't want to use my own $3,000 as well. So I had a partner gave me a loan for $3,000. Okay, so out of pocket cost for me, $0. All right, so yeah, there was no cost to me to get that property. Equity gain was $81,000. So that's how much equity I gained from the purchase of this property. Okay, so if I turned around and sold it, I could have got $81,000 right away. So in essence, that day, in just that one day, I turned $0 into $81,000. You can look at it like that. Okay, so who wouldn't want to do that? If you can find a deal every day to turn $0 into $81,000, wouldn't you want to do it? Shoot, I would do it every day. Okay, and I turned it into a rental. All right, because I wanted to hold on to it, and it's a single family, so it's very easy to take care of. And I wanted the tax, all the tax benefits and everything that goes along with it. So I turned it into a rental. I rented it out for $1,450. And the rent is a lot higher now, but this is what I rented it out at the time when I got it. And I turned around and rented it right away. So I went there on Monday, saw the property, talked to them, and on Tuesday, I took possession of the property. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I spent just cleaning the property. There was really no damage, so I didn't have to, maybe it was like cost me to fix everything up and clean everything out, maybe like $200. I didn't even count it, as repair, rehab, or anything. It was maybe like just like $200. But by the next Monday, I was renting it out for $1,450. So all within a week, I made 81 grand and renting it out for $1,450. Okay. The mortgage payment on it is $947. Okay, and cash flow is about $503. Okay, I know I don't have a lot of other expenses with this because like I said, it's a single family home, so the tenants, they pay for everything, and they do the minor maintenance and things like that, and haven't had any major issues or anything like that. So maintenance every month is very, very low, if there is any. Sometimes only like $50 or something like that. But then again, if it's a really small item, the tenants take care of it. So the cash flow is really good. So cash flow is about like $503. And I paid back my partner that $3,000 that I borrowed. I pay him back, and with 15% interest, so that's about like you know, a little over $3,400 bucks. It took me about 7 months to pay him back. So within 7 months' time, I gained, you know, 81,000, maybe even more than that, you know, and I gained 81,000 in equity, and I got a property for free. So, you know, you can see right there where the power of subject to comes in, okay? And like, again, this is a rental property, so not only just do I get equity and do I get cash flow, but I also get tax benefits as well, okay? I didn't put that into the thing here, but I wanted to bring that up, okay? Yeah, tax benefits is great. That's the reason why I kept the property, okay? So that's, you know, that's, in essence, I don't want to make this too complicated. That's really what a subject to is, you know, just helping them find, helping them solve their issues. And again, this is it's a win-win for everybody. You got to look at it like this, you know. You know, the sellers, they win because they got to get out of their property. Their credit is getting boosted, you know. So next time when they want to go buy a home, when I sell this property, you know, they're going to have awesome credit. At least from my point, they're going to have awesome credit. I don't know if they go and rack up other debt for themselves. That's on them. But from me, they're going to have awesome credit, okay? And they don't have to take care of the property. They don't have to do anything like that, okay? The bank wins because the bank keeps their money flowing in. That's all. That's what they want, you know? So the bank wins that way. The renters win because they get a place to stay, okay? I win because I get cash flow and I get, you know, equity and I get tax benefits. So it's, in actuality, it's a win for everybody. Okay, so that's what you have to do, is you have to be able to identify and create those situations where everybody wins. Okay, and when I say winning, it doesn't mean making like the seller. When I say winning for them, it doesn't mean that they make money. Okay, obviously in this situation I gave them $3K, but I didn't have to. You know, winning for them could be like what I said, helping them with whatever their motivation was. All right, because again, if their only motivation is they want to sell it to make the most money they can, it's not going to be a good subject to deal. Okay, so you can't approach those type of people and expect, you know, to do a subject to deal with those type of people that are just wanting to sell for the max amount that they can get for it. All right, so hopefully this helps everybody understand a little bit about what a you know, a subject to deal is, what it looks like, how to identify it. There's a lot more that goes into it, but you know, I just want to get everybody to start thinking about it. Okay. And here's a quote that I want to share with everybody. So, doing nothing for others is the undoing of yourself. It's by Horace Mann. Okay. So pretty much, again, like I said, you know, where subject to really shines through is if you can create a win-win situation for others, help them solve their problem. Okay. Because again, you know, if you decide to do a subject to deal just so that you can, you know, get a little bit of cash flow for a short while and then let the property go and ruin their credit, you know, you're not going to be doing business for a long time. Okay. So I like that quote. But yeah, you know, that's it for the slideshow. So again, you know, I'm David with Home Sellers. You know, we're looking for people to join our team. Actually, we started a one-on-one real estate mentorship program. So if you have any questions or, you know, you want mentorship, give me a call or you know, shoot me an email. But yeah, you know, that's pretty much it.